Here we are, last month of May, and beautiful sunny day today, Nice, and I just wanted to show you. We're running the hot tub, taking some of that solar power, putting it right in the hot tub, so 105, which is actually quite hot for the hot tub. And then, of course, we got our kitty cat, our guard kitty right there. You can barely see her, right? Yep. I just wanted to point out how powerful that solar really is, because when you have solar, it is like a superpower. Right now, we're charging our electric vehicles, but here is a heat pump dryer going on, and what we do with that is we just did a load of laundry over here, so now it's drying. And we do have a kill switch right there on the wall, so that when we're not using this device, we can kill it, right, and not have a vampire load going. So that's an important feature, because this switch disconnects this device from the power completely, right? So anyway, that's running. That's a good thing. See what else we got going here. Electric cars. So we got one electric car right now charging at 20 amps. The other electric car is out on an errand right now, and we charged it this morning pretty good. So that's a really good thing. Both of these cars started charging at around 8 o'clock this morning. Let's see what we got down here at the battery level. So batteries right now, we got 93, 99, and then this guy is at 88%. So considering all the loads that we have going right now, the hot tub and the car, it's at 41 amps. Now if I were to turn the car up a few amps, like say I wanted to make that, say 25 amps, or say let's make it 30 amps, let's make it drastic right there. So you can see that now I'm in the negative zone, so I'm actually pulling from this guy right here. So this guy is actually pulling out some power to make up that difference. So that's how the system works. It's balanced all the time. If the demand exceeds what I have in capacity, it blows a breaker. That's what happens. So I can turn this back down to say 25 amps. And what's the result? Well, now we have 17, 18 amps that are going back into the batteries, and you can see it's charging up. So what will happen with this is the system is smart enough that if these hit 100% and they go through their conditioning process, the solar will be dumped. It'll match the load plus a little bit, and it'll track that all day long. Here is, let me see where we at. Oh, hang on, I'm gonna bring this up again. Okay, so we're at about 9,200 watts right now, give or take 9,600 watts. You can see that the grid is off. We have the grid handle down. We've been off grid for days and days and days. And so the house load is 7,000 watts, and that's going to include the fact that we have this electric car. It's going to include the fact that we've got the dryer going. It's going to include the fact that we got the hot tub going, and what we also have the AC on. It's quite nice and cool in here, dehumidified. So that's going as well. And of course, that is an intermittent load. And the hot tub is sort of intermittent in regard to the heat, but because of the cleaning cycle, the cleaning cycles are actually quite long. So that's kind of a drag, but I have no control over that, unfortunately. It would be cool to have like an hour long cleaning cycle, but I think the shortest is something like 8 hours or 6 hours or something like that. So I'll have to figure that out better. Now, a lot of people are going, oh yeah, well, solar is weak. There's some ex-presidents actually are saying this. That's why I can't trust politicians at all, because unless they study this stuff, unless they are learned people, they have no clue as to what's going on. People tell them things and they actually believe it, right? Solar is extremely powerful. This chart shows the amount of pollution. The straight line across the top shows the amount of pollution that comes off of gas cars. It's predictable. It's constant, and people all the time. I hear this from naysayers. They go, "Oh well, you're plugging your electric car into the grid, and where does the grid get its power?" Right? Like they're all of a sudden a grid genius. They're all of a sudden super smart. They know something that we don't know. Well, in fact, they don't know anything that we don't already know and have never seen before. So this shows the ratio of pollution on the grid if you're using an electric car compared to the constant pollution of an ICE car. This does not take into account if you have a nano grid. A nano grid is an island within the grid. It's very, very small, and it produces the power for that particular part of the grid. So in our case, we are a nano grid. We produce all the power that we need for our house. It's very small, and it takes care of everything that we're doing here. But you can see, if you go to like the state of New York or something like that, where's their power coming from? The grid is a mix, of course, first and foremost. So that's one of the big reasons why these people have a failed argument, not even a decent argument. It's failed because the grid is a mix of all kinds of things, including nuclear, including gas, some coal still, including oil. How about water power? There's hydroelectric power, and of course there's solar power and wind as well, and there's battery power. So in California, for example, excuse me, in California, let me see, we had a plane crash the other day. Where were we at? Oh, let me go back to this. Yeah, so this is becoming a very common event. So in the evening time, this big yellow area is all coming from battery power. So this is the entire California grid being powered by battery power, by megapacks. And so megapacks are exactly like what we have here, only bigger. There's a lot more batteries in the megapack. And so this has been going on for a while. And so these naysayers are completely unaware that this transition has already happened in a major, state, which is the 5th largest economy in the world, right? Texas is doing the same exact thing as California. They're doing exactly the same thing, and they are seeing similar results. So the days of fossil fuel are numbered. They are severely numbered. By 2030, we should be out of there with burning fossil fuels to create electricity. Absolutely should be. Because you could take that electricity and put it into things, useful things like a car, right? And you can go anywhere on sunshine. So this right here, our nanogrid, powers our own car. We are making our own fuel on our own roof. What the hell? Can you imagine? It takes 34 kilowatts of power just to make 1 gallon of gasoline, which means on what is wasted making gasoline, I could drive 50, 60 miles on what it takes just to make a gallon of gas, right? So, and we all know that every single gallon of gas that's burned puts 20 pounds of pollution in the air. 20 pounds. And I have these naysayers all the time going, how could that possibly be? Gasoline only weighs this and that, blah, 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 blah. I go, well, genius. Go back to high school chemistry and figure out that it actually is a chemical reaction. It's not like tearing up a piece of paper. It changes states. There, and when you burn something, it changes states, right? It means that, the other chemicals, but wait, you can't see air, so it must not exist. I know. This goes way back, how do you prove that there's air? Genius. Go back and study some stuff and learn some stuff. This is a very basic information. Anyway, I'm ranting. So, the other car is just parked right now. I'm going on a rant, man. So the power that we have is really a superpower. You know, it's a superpower because you really just need solar and battery backup adequate for the worst day of the year. All right, am I there right yet? And I go, not quite there yet. Wintertime is still a struggle for us, right? But I can see that it's going to be achievable because solar prices have come way down and will continue to go down in price. And batteries have gone down. They've halved within the last 12 months, right? So that means I'll be able to buy more battery storage at a much cheaper rate than I did the batteries that I have now. And that means that on average, my batteries are going to cost lower because, you know, it's like dollar cost averaging, right? So we've been off grid, and what I mean, you can see here on the graph, it's real time, by the way. Actually, there's a five minute delay on this particular graph, but we've been off grid for days and days and days, and zero is coming in from the grid. We're all running everything right here, local Nano grid, right? And here's the results. So the 31st, that's today, last day of the month. This was yesterday, coming up, right? So you can see it was a pretty sunny day, really good for solar. We collected a lot, and we made it through the night, right? And that's what happens. Is here's an intermittent cloudy day where we still ran the whole entire day on solar and battery backup, and then all the way through the night, of course. You can see. Here's another one. This was a nice sunny day on the 27th. Here's another crazy freaking day. It was like more cloudy this day, but we still were able to run all of our devices. So on a day like this, we don't run the hot tub on a day like this. You know, we don't like do the laundry on a day like this. We don't like charge the cars on a day like this. All we're doing is doing our business, running our computers, you know, keeping the lights on, and of course any heat or air conditioning, right? Now this day is interesting because it was a perfect day for solar, but what happened, somewhere along the line, we tripped the battery breaker. Don't know why exactly, but everything was fine. Just everything, I don't know what, around 4:15 a.m. So Deborah went out and she forgot how to turn the battery breaker back into the on position, and instead she turned the grid on. So that's the reason we're on grid right during these hours. This is where I got up and I realized what was going on at 7 o'clock, give or take. So that was just a mistake. That's about a $9 mistake right there, you know, but that happens, right? But, you know, other than that, we've been off grid, right? Here's another couple days back, but it's amazing to see how after all this time, we've been off grid for most of the month. And by off grid, I mean that we are physically disconnected, got the switch off, right? We are not tied to the grid. But if we have to, for some reason, maybe there's a bunch of days in a row, we do import wind power. So we have the ability to do that. I'm not sure if I really trust that or not. It's from Clean Choice Energy. There's obviously a big chance for companies to cheat on this, but even so, at least we're trying on that. But the main point is to get as much power as you can off your own land, off your own roof. You know, get as much as you can, do as much as you possibly can. So what's going on with the batteries right now? It says it's discharging. Oh, why is it discharging? Well, we're using too much energy. Let's go back to the camera. You can see it real quick on the camera here. Yep. So, all right, so now that I could hear the hum of the battery. So whatever that was, it might have been the hot tub just, you know, kicking in for a minute. Oh, there it goes again. I can hear it. So see, it's discharging. So it goes from charging to discharging depending on conditions. I can also tell that the sun was just a little bit dimmer just in this minute than it was a few minutes ago. Right, and so I think that's what's going on. I think there's a limiting factor. Maybe this will register on here. I'm not sure. Nah, it might not be time. In about every 5 minutes, this updates. So you'll probably see like a little bit lower input right there. But in the meantime, what I could do is go to the car and say, okay, I don't need 25 watts or 25 amps right now. I can turn this down to around 20. And I can change the conditions, and then all of a sudden we'll see that the dynamics are a little bit different. Still pulling a lot, so I'm guessing this is the dryer. I can hear the AC. I can you can see now it turned back the other way. So this dance goes on all the time, all day long. I don't have to do anything. It just does it, you know. And as long as I have my parameters set up, it's automatic. The only thing that I'm doing manually is I'm taking care of the car. That's what I'm doing. I'm managing how much amps go into the vehicle. I wish I had an AI for this, but I don't. So it'd be kind of cool to be able to have everything balanced like that. Anyway, just wanted to wrap up the month. This is a great month, and it's going into June. So we got June, July, August, September, where we're going to do this, and I'll do summaries of those months as well. So peace out. Enjoy. I just turned the car back up, by the way. So we're still at 40 amp excess. What I'm trying to do is keep these batteries from really hitting 100%. Although I could, it wouldn't make any difference. But keeping them as high as possible is good during the day, and then they just discharge at night. All right, man. Peace. I think I'll make some songs.